Okay, everyone. So, tapos na tayo sa mga first parts na to. Hindi ko muna babalikan yan. So, ito tayo sa basic principles of specimen collection na dapat accurate, timely, and aseptic. So, ang goal natin is to prevent contamination and ensure optimal conditions for organisms recovery and accurate diagnosis. So, guys, kapag sinabi nating aseptic, it means free from contamination. Okay. Alright. So, ito yung general principles na kailangan nating sundin. Wait lang. Ayun. So, pag magkakollect tayo ng specimen, collect the specimen before antimicrobial therapy begins. Ayan. Ayun. Ito yung baseline sample daw, guys. Okay? Use specimen. Alright. So, use the appropriate container with correct transport medium. Dito, ayan, katulad dito. Example natin is kapag kukuha tayo ng midstream, urine midstream, ang proper container dito ay sterile container or transport kit na ang quantity ay 2 to 3 ml. Alright. So, yun. Dun yung correct transport medium. Tapos, kailangan din naka-label properly with identifiers, patient identifiers, and the source. Dito, kailangan yung ano ba yung mga patient identifiers? Pangalan ni patient. Wait lang. So, ayan. Full name ni patient, first and last name, date of birth, and medical record. Tapos, yung, hindi naman na, medical record tuloy. Medical record number or ID number. Kasi yun na yung pinaka-identifier ni patient. Tapos, date and time ng collection. Tapos, initials ng RMT. If kailangan. Pero sabi ng prof ko, kahit sa mga blood collection, by the book, oo. Pero sa totoong practice, di naman nila ginagawa. Alright, so next naman natin is deliver to the laboratory promptly with the recommended time frame. Hindi kasi pwede, guys, na lumagpas ka or kulang. Okay lang siguro kung ma-deliver mo doon ng tama, di ba? Pero kung lagpas ka, guys, hindi talaga pwede yon. Kasi nga, kumbaga, hindi na siya valid. Okay? Kumbaga, ma-expired na o di kaya mga maglalize na yung sample mo. Diba? Ganon. So, next natin is avoid contamination from skin flora or other body size. Since ang goal nga natin is aseptic. Kasi kapag na-contaminate yan, we all know na kumbaga alter nito yung result. Diba? Next is follow institution-specific protocols and biosafety precautions. Yan ay lab-based naman na. Okay, next natin, urine specimen collection. Dito, ginagamit natin ang method na clean catch midstream. Ito yung pinaka-ideal. Okay? So, specimen type, diagnostic urine sample for culture and sensitivity. Ito yung steps, no? So, instruct the patient. First, instruct the patient to cleanse the external genitalia thoroughly. Next, begin voiding and discard the first part of the urine stream. Kasi nga mid nga tayo, diba? Mid yung kukunin natin. Kasi contaminated, hindi kasi sasama yung una. Okay, tapos midstream portion is collected into a sterile screw cap container or urine transport kit. So, kapag sinabing screw cap, guys, ito yung naiikot. Okay? Parang screw, di ba? naiikot siya. So, ayun. So, yung midstream portion daw, i-collect natin siya sa sterile screw cap container or urine transport kit na may 2 to 3 ml na minimum. So, ayun. Sterile screw cap container or urine transport kit na may 2 to 3 ml minimum quantity. Okay. So, avoid contamination, tas transport to the lab within 2 hours. So, 2 hours yung time frame niya lang, guys. Okay, bawal siya lumagpas. Or refrigerate at 2.8 degrees Celsius if madedelay man. So, meron ka pa ring option, no? Kahit madelay ka ng kaunti. Kailangan mo siyang i-refrigerate. Okay. Primarily for diagnosing, ay dito sinulat yung refrigerate. Ayun. Used primarily for diagnosing UTI and for bacterial culture. First void specimen may be requested for chlamydia, trachomatis, or Neisseria gonorrhoeae, while midstream is preferred for culture. So, kapag mga culture lang na mga request, ganyan, for routine, lalo na kapag test for UTI, ayan yung gagamitin natin. Midstream clean catch. Pero kapag chlamydia, trachomatis yung ating iti-test, first daw. Isasali. Yun ang i-request rather. So, next natin is sputum. Pag sputum, guys, lower respiratory yan. Pero kapag upper, nasal. Okay? So, dito, ayan. So, ito, rinse mouth or gargle with water to minimize oral contamination. So, una, syempre, yung may mga dumi-dumi pa yan sa bibig mo, kailangan mo tanggalin lahat yan. So, mag-rinse ka or mag-gargle ka ng may tubig. Tapos, i-instruct mo si patient na mag-cough deeply to bring up lower respiratory secretions. Lalo na kapag may tagtetest ka for, mga TB, ganyan. So, magko-collect daw tayo ng 1 to 2 ml ng sputum into a sterile screw cap container. Pareho lang, guys. So, sa urine, kanina, sterile screw cap container din or urine transport kit. Ito naman, yun lang din, halos. Okay? Pareho lang. Tapos, 1 to 2 ml lang dito. Kanina, ilan ulit? 2 to 3. So, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Okay? Yun yung minimum. Tapos, kailangan ma-transport yung urine within 2 hours or hindi kaya, refrigerate mo siya ng 2 to 8 degrees Celsius kapag madidiliman. Here naman, walang nabanggit about refrigeration. Wala ring nabanggit na oras, no? Wala naman nabanggit na may deliver siya agad sa lab. So, ensure the specimen. Ito ba yun? Ay, sorry po. Wait lang. Ayun, ensure the specimen. Ensure the specimen is not saliva. Examine the color and viscosity. So, kapag mucoid, guys, ibig sabihin, ayun po yung green, mga plema, diba? Ganon. Kapag salivary, yun yung i-reject natin kasi bawal yon. Sputum po ang ating ina-analyze, ang ating iti-test. So, galing dapat yun sa baga. Okay? So, reject natin kapag laway-laway. For detecting organisms causing pneumonia, tuberculosis, fungal infections, etc. So, yun yung goal ng test na ito. Ayan yung mga kanyang tinitest. So, rejection criteria, specimens that are predominantly saliva or not collected properly. Ayun lang naman. Wala namang iba. Next naman na, again, recall lang natin, urine, 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, refrigeration, pag delayed, tapos 2 to 3 ml minimum. Kapag sputum naman, collect 1 to 2 ml sa sterile screw cap container din. Okay. Next natin is stool specimen collection. Okay. Here naman, everyone, fecal or tae in Tagalog, in most common term, tae, for bacterial, parasitic, and viral analysis. Ayun yung goal. Okay? Defecate into a clean, dry container. Ito yung note dyan ha, not into the toilet or with urine. Para hindi makontaminate at hindi ma-alter ang results. Okay? So, ayun. Yung ano dito, yung kaibahan ng container na to sa urine, may scooper to. May scooper siya. Kasi yun lang naman talaga, guys. Yun lang talaga ang kailangan kapag nagtatest. Hindi buong tae lalagay sa Diyos ko, Lord, ang baho na nga ng kapiranggot, yung buo pa. Kawawa naman kami niyan. Wait lang ha, may sinesearch lang ako. Kasi may tanong mamaya about kung pwede daw bang gamitin ang urine container sa stool container. So, ang sagot ko doon, no. Kasi syempre, kaya nga pinaghiwalay, di ba? Kasi may purpose yun kung ba't pinaghiwalay. Kung hindi, pinagsama na lang, di ba? No, you should not use a urine container to collect a stool sample. Kasi dapat talaga may spoon yun eh. Awa naman medtech sa inyo guys kung ano, diba? So, ayun lang. Wait lang. Kailangan ko lang siya malaman. Basta yun guys. Kailangan may scooper talaga siya. Okay? Kasi yun lang yung ideal na amount eh. Suntukin ko kayo. Magbigay kayo ng ay no, sabi transfer a portion. Ayan, transfer a portion 5 to 10 grams or pea size. Yung size lang po ng kutsara sa loob ng clean leak-proof container. Okay? Ganun lang dapat ang ipapasa nyo, everyone. Okay? So, ang sinasabi dito kasi, ano na daw, tumain mo na siya sa isang lagyanan. Clean dry container. Tapos sa kanya in-scoop. Para ilipat dun sa may stool container na may kutsara. Hey! Pero may isang strategy na tinuro sa amin na pwede kang tumae dun sa may mataas na part na at gilid ng toilet. Di naman sa may apakan ha, hindi. Dun pa rin sa curve ng bowl. Tapos, yung pinaka hindi contaminated, yung hindi nakadikit sa may tile, yun yung isuscoop mo. Ganon. Para hindi mo na ilagay sa container. Dahil kadiri na mo. So, ayun. For me, that's ideal. Mas okay yun gawin, no? So, next natin is, if testing is delayed beyond 1 hour, place in transport medium. Example, Carrie Blair. Avoid contamination with water and urine. Pero guys ha, note, bawal yung nag-defecate ka sa mismong bowl na nandun sa baba at may tubig. Okay? Bawal na. Basta dapat wala siyang dinikitan. Yun lang. If testing is delayed beyond 1 hour, kailangan daw nasa transport medium siya. So, ayun. Again, urine, 2 to 3 ml. Stool, 5 to 10 grams. Or pea size. Ulit. Ano yung kanina? Sputum. Sputum, 1 to 2 ml. Urine, 2 to 3. Stool, 5 to 10 grams. Or pea size. Used for detecting enteric pathogens like Salmonella, Shigella, Campylobacter, C. difficile. Okay. Enteric. Meaning in pathogens. Pag sinabi daw na enteric, guys, ito daw yung group of microorganisms that primarily infect and cause disease within the gastrointestinal tract. Okay. So, ang target ng pathogen na to ay gastrointestinal tract. That's enteric. Okay? Special considerations: use preservatives if parasites are suspected, like formalin and ano to? PVA, alam ko to teka lang. Polyvinyl alcohol. Okay, mas pale ng vinyl. Oh, bunto. Ayan. Kasi guys, kailangan diba preserve yung mga itsura nila eh. Diba? So, next naman natin is labeling and requisition. Here naman, syempre, critical step pa rin to, of course, to ensure accuracy and traceability. Syempre, traceability eh. Kapag walang, ano yan guys, walang identifiers ng patient, hindi mo alam kanino yung test, diba? Kaya kapag ganon, tinatapon yun. So, uulitin mo ngayon yung pagpapakuha ng sample mula kay patient. Di ba masyadong matrabaho? That's why we that's why labeling and requisitions are important. Alright, next is each specimen must be labeled at the bedside or point of care collection using at least, at least, kasi may nabanggit na question dito eh. At least two unique patient identifiers like full name and hospital ID number. Tulad na nabanggit ko kanina. Pero syempre, importante din na naka-indicate, guys, okay? Yung time and date of collection, type and source of collection, initials or code of collector. So, type and source of specimen. Okay? Accompanying the specimen should be a requisition form that includes patient information, ordering physician. Yung sa requisition form kasi guys, ito yung chine-check ng mga medtech prior the collection. Okay. To request, ito kasi yung request for medical test and procedures. Dito rin naka-indicate kung meron bang yung mga diagnosis, requested test, kung may allergy ba yung patient, o di ka kailangan nag-fasting, ganyan-ganyan. Ganon. So, ayan. This is between medtech and physician. Yung requisition form na to. So, ayun, kailangan lang din ng patient information. Name, date of birth, identifiers, like ID number. Ordering physician, type and source of specimen. Clinical diagnosis or suspicion, requested test, collection time and date of collector's name, and any relevant patient preparation or antibiotic therapy. Improper or incomplete labeling can lead to specimen rejection, potentially delaying diagnosis and treatment. So, ayan. Mahaba-haba pa, bakla. Check muna natin. Nasa 6th page na tayo. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pages pa, guys. Tapos, saka natin to aalamin. Okay lang, may 1 hour pa tayo. Tapos mamaya, magsasagot tayo. Okay, next naman natin. Ito na tayo, diba? Preservation, storage, and transport of specimens. So, dito, it is vital. Sige, wait lang, ha? Uy, huwag ka alis. It is vital to maintain microbial viability and preventing contamination or degradation. Tulad na nabanggit ko kanina. So, specimens should ideally be transported within 30 minutes of collection. Yun ang sabi, guys. Okay? If immediate processing is not possible, yan, follow storage guidelines to preserve specimen integrity. So, iba-iba kasi yan, no? Tulad nung kanina. Kunwari, sabi sa urine, kapag na madadelay, ang kailangan gawin, i-refrigerate siya sa 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. Ang stool naman, pwede siyang i-preserve, lalo na pag may parasites na tinatest. Ayan, diba? Sa sputum, wala. Sa stool, wala rin. Walang nabanggit. Diba? Recall. Alright, so specimen type. We have blood for culture. Teka, anong ginamit kong color kanina? Specimen, pink. Tapos dilaw sa... Okay. So, specimen culture. Specimen blood for culture. Urine. Iano ko na lahat, ha, para... blood, urine, dami, no? Stool ulit, respiratory specimens, CFS, swabs, tissue or biopsy. Ang CFF, I sent cerebro, ano yung CF? Cerebrospinal fluid yan, alam ko eh. O, tama nga. Cerebrospinal fluid. Ito yung nasa spinal cord. Ano siya? Ultrafiltrate of plasma contained within the ventricles of the brain and the subarachnoid spaces of the cranium and spine. So, nasa, ano siya? Nasa nervous system. Okay. So, next naman natin. Pag blood for culture, wait lang, suratin natin. Okay. So, pag for culture, ang temperature na kailangan ay room temp lang. Room temp. Ano ba ang room temp? Lakihan nga natin. Ang room temp sa laboratory, guys, ay 25 degrees Celsius. Okay. Pag urine naman, ito nga yung nabanggit kanina, i-refrigerate mo siya kapag delayed. Okay, kapag stool naman, guys, ang storage niya ay malamig din. 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. Pag culture lang. Pero kapag maghahanap tayo ng ova and parasites, ipe-preserve natin siya either using polyvinyl alcohol or iodine. Iodine ba? Teka lang. Formalin, sorry. Formalin. Yan. Sa room temp lang. Okay? Pero pag culture, tulad lang siya ng urine. Nasa 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. Pag respiratory specimen, same lang din. So, meaning, ito yung mga sputum, guys. Okay? Sputum. Nawala. Highlighter ko. So, kapag ayan, kasama rin yung mga swab. Alam naman natin yung swab, no? Pwede yung sa throat, pwede sa wound. Ang swab, guys, gumagamit yan ng para siyang cotton buds. Ganun siya, guys. Mahabang stick, tapos meron siyang bud sa dulo. Parang yung ginagawa kapag sa COVID, di ba? Ang purpose kasi nun, guys, is to collect sample. Yun na yun. Kaso lang kapag COVID-19 na nasopharyngeal swab test, masakit yun kasi ang tusok nun hanggang dulo ng padadaan sa ilong hanggang dulo bago bumaba ng esophagus. Tapos pwede rin siya sa wound, guys, okay? Pwede rin sa genitalia, okay? Nabanggit naman yung kanina. Alright, so ayun, kapag CSF, room temp lang din siya. Bawal i-refrigerate. Moist sterile container at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. So, ayun. Okay, ang mga 2 to 8 degrees Celsius natin, ilista natin. So, we have urine, stool for culture, respiratory specimens. Kapag respiratory specimen, guys, hindi lang pala sputum, no? Kasi meron din tayong pang-upper, which is salivary. So, respiratory na lang po. Tapos, swab. Tsaka, tissue or biopsy. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. USC RSWTB. USC RSWTB. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 na ang temp dapat ay 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. The rest, ang mga room temp naman natin ay 1, 2, 3. Tatlo. Which are blood for culture, stool for preservations, tsaka CSF. So, tatlo. Okay. Recall. So, yung mga specimen natin na dapat nasa 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, 5 yan. Meron tayong urine, USC. Hindi ako nakatingin ha. So, try nyo rin na-recall, guys, nang hindi nakatingin. So, 5 yon, USC, RSW, TB. So, urine, ito yun if delayed, okay? Kailangan siya refrigerate sa 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. The rest, SC, CBN stool for culture. Pag stool for culture, 2 to 8 degrees Celsius dead. R, respiratory specimens, 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. SW or swab, tsaka T or B, that's tissue or biopsy. Okay, RT ito naman ay room temp or 25 degrees Celsius. May tatlo lang tayo nito, which are BSP, CSF. So, B, blood for culture. SP, stool preserve. So, preserved stool, ayan yung may formalin or PVA for ova and parasites identification. And lastly, CSF. Okay. Ay, note lang din pala sa tissue and biopsy, dapat moist yung sterile container. Next natin ay preservatives. Kaya ba? Alas 9 na, kinakabahan ako. Oh my God. 20 minutes na lang. 40 minutes pala. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, bibilisan na lang natin, no? Okay. So, preservatives are used to inhibit overgrowth. Used to inhibit overgrowth of normal flora and to preserve morphology for identification. Inhibit overgrowth and preserve organism for identification. Examples include PVA and formalin for stools, for ova and parasites. Boric acid used in urine collection containers to maintain bacterial populations during delayed transport. Okay, so kapag may ganon, meron daw delayed transport, para ma-maintain natin kung population ng bacteria, boric acid ang ginagamit. Lalo na pag since room temp lang. Okay. Carey-Blair medium, ito yung nabanggit kanina for enteric pathogens. For enteric pathogen preservation in stools. Carey-Blair medium. Buffered glycerol saline o saline for viral specimens. Viral or virus. Each preservative is chosen based on their interest and test method. Next natin, anticoagulant. Okay? Anticoagulants, okay, coagulation means pagbubuo-buo or pagka-clot. So, anticoagulant simply is to prevent clotting and maintain specimen suitability for culture or microscopy. So, ayan, SPS, sodium polyenethol, sodium polyanethol sulfonate. Ito yung bote yan siya, guys, na blood collection container. Ayan, used for blood cultures, inhibits complement and some antimicrobial agents. EDTA, most common, EDTA, violet or lavender. Used for molecular diagnostics and parasitic exams, but not for culture. usually ng mga test kapag EDTA ay EDTA, wait lang, kailangan ko i-recall. CBC at saka HbA1c. Next naman natin is heparin. Si heparin naman occasionally used for viral culture. At ginagamit din to for ammonia. Use of inappropriate anticoagulants can lose viability or false results. Feeling ko kailangan i-notes to. Next naman natin is holding or transport media. Are designed to maintain pathogen viability without allowing overgrowth. So, ayun. Stewards or Anis medium used for swabs. Maintain aerobic and some aerobic organisms. Carry Blair for enteric, nabanggit na yan kanina. Viral transport medium for preserves respiratory and other viral specimens. Anaerobic transport media, strict anaerobes from oxygen exposure. Sealed yan siya guys, sobra. Kasi may mga parasite na pag strictly anaerobic, mamamatay sila kahit sobrang konti lang ng oxygen exposure. Transport media are essential when delays in processing. So, essential daw siya guys. Pag hindi maiwasan yung mga delay. Particularly kapag outpatient or remote settings. Para ma-maintain pa rin natin yung pathogen viability kahit na medyo delay sa oras. Okay. Ang dami pa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At 7 pa lang. Parang hindi naman napabawasan. Okay, next natin is shipping infectious substances. So, dito naman, this is tightly regulated under U.S. Department of Transportation or DOT and international guidelines. Infectious materials are categorized into Category A. Category A, capable of causing permanent disability or life-threatening. Like, Bacillus anthracis, nasabi dito, nagkakos ng anthrax, na pwede kang easily mamatay kapag na-inhale mo. Ganon. So, Mycobacterium tuberculosis din, di ba? Super life-threatening ng TB na airborne, di ba? So, kapag mga ganito daw, dapat siniship siya in triple packaging with diamond-shaped hazard label. Okay. Magkaiba sila. Kapag, pwede ka din kasing may label na UN 2814 or UN 2900. Kasi kapag, katulad ng nakasulat, dun mo malalaman kung infectious ba siya sa human or infectious lang siya sa animals. Para alam nila yung controls na gagawin nila kapag na-receive na nila yung specimen. So, dapat daw may diamond-shaped hazard label, tapos mayroong mga nakasulat na ganyan, UN 28 kechuchu. Okay? So, triple packaging includes ito yung mga parts. So, primary watertight container or tubes. Secondary watertight container with absorbent material, rigid outer packaging with correct label. So, ayun. Ito itsura niya, guys. So, sabi may primarily watertight container. Ayan yung nasa taas. Next naman is secondary watertight with absorbent material. Ayan. Diba? Ang galing. Tatlong packaging literal, no? Tapos next naman is yung parang box na. Rigid outer packaging with correct labeling. Ayan yung mga infectious substance label diamond. Tapos sa baba nakasulat yung proper shipping name and UN number. Kung 2814 ba yun or 2900. So ganyan na may giging itsura niya sa loob. Next naman natin, kalahati na tayo. Amen. So, 30 minutes. Kaya ba? Kakayanin. Oh my goodness. Graciousness. Whew. Upon receipt, all specimens must be log labeled properly. The receiving staff inspects each container for patient identification, specimen type, laging mayroon yan, time of date of collection, and appropriate volume and condition. Dapat walang leaks at correct yung temperature. At least 2 identifiers. Specimens are handled as potential infections and processed in a class 2 BSE when appropriate. Okay. Specimen priority. Specimens are prioritized based on their urgency and pathogen survival. Examples, pag minabasa daw tayong stat, guys, sa request or requisition form, ito yung mga critical specimens na dapat ASAP ginagawa. Okay? As in, now na. Ganon. Tulad ng CSF, blood cultures. Yan. CSF, blood cultures for suspected sepsis. Tissue from sterile sites. Urine, pag routine specimens, guys, ito yung palagi, no? Palagi ginagawa. So, urine, sputum, and wound swabs. Stool for parasites, low priority specimens, except pag may outbreaks. And environmental swabs. So, priority natin is yung mga sa tao talaga. Okay? Next is level of specimen prioritization. So, level 1, CSF, tissue, and body fluids. High risk. Teka, sulatan ko muna lahat. Tapos, sasagutin pa yung mga tanong. Okay lang, malapit naman na to. Tagal pa, shit. So, bakit daw? Level 1 siya kasi high risk, low survival ng organisms. Kapag blood cultures naman daw at sterile sites aspirates, time sensitive sila for sepsis management. Ano ba ang sepsis? So, wait lang. Ang sepsis, it means that the body's extreme response to an infection. It is a life-threatening medical urgency kapag na-trigger niya na yung chain reaction ng katawan mo. potentially leading to the functioning of organs, shock, and death. So, yun. Sepsis is yung reaction from infection. Andito!
Maliit lang yung naitim eh. Hoy! Ba't mo ito kinuha?
Sabi ni mama, pinapamigay mo daw.
Ha?
Sabi ni mame,
Ano?
di mo na daw gagamitin eh.
Hindi lang mo ito sa nasa mo ka nakikaya naman yun.
Ay, di mo nga daw gamitin.
Hindi pa.
Wala pa akong mapaglalagyan ng pencil case. Wala akong pencil case eh.
Yung payong ko. Akin na yan. Ang gagamitin ko ito. Asan na yung payong ko? Wala ba dyan? Itim yun na maliit eh.
May ginagamit akong payong itim, pero di ko alam kanino. Kay Tito Roy Roy.
Akin to.
Nakita ko yan sa may labahan, dun sa kusina. Nay, umayos ka ng higa. Huwag pa ganyan.
Ay, nahihilo ako ng gusto. Ay. Oh.
Huwag ka kasing bigang tayo.
Ha? Hindi. Sobrang tayo siguro yung sakit ng likod ko.
Higa na.
Tinapos ko kasi ayoko ng pabalik-balik.
Ito. So, ito nga, nagkukos siya ng malfunctioning, kagaya ng shock or death. Kaya dapat pag blood cultures, excuse me, and sterile site aspirates, pinapriority siya sa second level. Okay, next naman is urine, respiratory and wound cultures. So, stable organisms but clinically significant. So, pangatlo lang sila. Next naman ay level 4 stools for parasites and environmental, not urgent, directly linked to patient outcome. So, that's it, no? Lapit na! Next, unacceptable specimens and specimen rejection. Specimens may be rejected due to leaking or broken containers, incorrect missing labels, wrong specimen container, ayan, non-sterile cup, improper storage, delayed transport of CSF without refrigeration, insufficient volume, bawal din yon, dried out swabs or desiccated samples. Lahat yan re-reject, no? All rejections must be documented with the reason and communicated to requesting provider. So, walang explanation, no? Bakit? Macroscopic observations. Upon specimen receipt, a macroscopic evaluation is the first critical step. The technologist inspects the container and specimen visually to assess. Charge ko pala tong laptop ko kasi may gagawin ako. Maya-maya lang. Excuse me guys, for a while. For a while. Tayo sa labas. Tayo sa labas. Okay, macroscopic observation. So, dito na tayo sa macroscopic observations. So, dito naman, upon specimen receipt, a macroscopic evaluation is the first critical step. The technologist inspects the container and specimen visually to assess. So, kagaya ng UTI, visually turbid. So, alam mo na agad, ay, alam ko to. Ganon. So, volume, insufficient amount in CSF or sputum, bawal yon, rejected yan. Color, clear, cloudy, bloody, purulent. Ito yung nabanggit kanina na mucoid, ganon. Turbidity, presence of visible contaminants like food particles sa stool, saliva in sputum. Kitang-kita naman agad yun. Mucoid in respiratory samples or formed versus watery stool. These visual cues aid in evaluating, determining the appropriate technique. For example, mucoid sputum indicates good lower respiratory tract sample, while salivary rejected. Okay. So, microscopic observations. 1, 2, 3, 4. Apat na lang. Saan na yun? Wait lang, may kunin lang ako. So, microscopic observations typically follows the macroscopic review and is essential for preliminary assessment. So, direct gram stain, acid fast staining on relevant specimens. Examples, sputum, CSF, wood swabs. Evaluation of cellular host, presence ng WBC, epithelial cells. Ganyan. Kasi kapag may epithelial cells daw, sa low power field pa lang, ibig sabihin, si sputum mo daw ay contaminated. So, detection of microorganisms for bacteria, fungi, parasites. These steps helps identify the presence of infection, guides media selection and incubation conditions. For instance, seeing gram-negative diplococci in CSF strongly suggests Neisseria meningitidis. So, ito, primary inoculation or putting a plate on culture media. That's it. No? Sa kanilang appropriate na culture media. Of course, that is under aseptic conditions. So, the goals are isolate pathogens from normal flora to allow for accurate identification and susceptible testing. So, ganito yung inoculating loop. Ayan siya. Ganyan itsura niya. Parang swab. So, ito yung tinatawag natin na 4-quadrant strict method. Yung nasa drawing ko. So, mag-start ka dun sa dark orange, paikot. Okay? So, the most common strict solid media. For streaking solid media. For liquid media, proper aliquoting is necessary. Inoculation must be done in a biosafety cabinet 2 or higher. With appropriate PPE and sterilization equipments after use. So, types of culture media. Oh my God, dunti na lang. Kaya na to. So, ito yun. Nabanggit nito ni ma'am. So, mayroon tayong blood agar, chocolate agar. For non-selective media, pag selective, McConkey. For gram-negative, ayan. Differential. Hindi ko sure kung kailangan pa ba to. Kasi nabanggit naman ito sa lek eh. So, pag non-selective, ganyan. General recovery of organisms. Pag selective naman, selective. Kumbaga, may ibang nabubuhay, may ibang namamatay. Suppress normal flora to allow growth of pathogens. So, kunwari, test for gram-negative. So, yung kung ano yung nasa culture media mo, na hindi naman gram-negative, hindi siya yung matatarget ng ating tawag dito, staining. Magiging colorless siya, kumbaga. And yung iba, mamamatay. Pwede mamatay. Differential media, differentiate organisms by colony. Ito, may color change. Tapos, enriched media supports fastidious organisms or yung mga slow growing. Next is anaerobic media. Anaerobic means recovery of anaerobic specialty media is for specific organisms. So, I don't think we have to elaborate pa yan. Tyer Martin, ganyan. CDC for anaerobic blood agar, LVB agar. So, culture media selection. So, kapag stool, makonki, kapag, ano to, or XLD, kapag CSF, blood, or chocolate agar. Pag salmonella, XLD, or hectoin, pag mycobacterium tuberculosis, ito, Lowenstein, Jensen, to suppress contaminants, selective media for, ayun pala, kapag presence of normal flora, ayan. Need for enrichment or differential capability. Media must be fresh. Quality control and incubated under proper conditions according to pathogens requirements. So, ayan. Lagyan lang natin ng colors para madaling hanapin pagbabalikan. Okay. Okay. Specimen prep for cultures involve proper handling and pre-treatment to optimize the recovery of organisms. For example, some specimens such as tissue or wound swabs may require grinding or emulsification in sterile saline. Blood specimens for culture must be processed using anticoagulants like sodium polyanethol sulfonate or SPS and placed in blood culture bottles with appropriate nutrient media. For respiratory specimens, mucous secretions may need digestion and decontamination to reduce overgrowth commensals and allow detection of pathogens such as TB. Isolation techniques. So, isolation techniques are used to obtain pure cultures and identify polymicrobial infections. So, strict plate method, yun yung kanina, colonies on solid media. Quantitative plating for urine, inoculating calibrated loops to quantify CFUs. Enrichment cultures where pathogen is outnumbered by normal flora. Selective and differential media such as makonki agar used to enhance or suppress growth depending on their traits. Incubation. After inoculation, cultures must be incubated under conditions that are optimal to suspected pathogen. Aerobic 35 to 37 degrees Celsius in ambient air or carbon dioxide. Used for most pathogens. Anaerobic yun, okay? Okay. Anaerobic incubation naman required for strict anaerobes like Clostridium perfringens using anaerobic jars or chambers. Okay, microaerophilic incubations like Campylobacter jejuni and Helicobacter pylori, requiring reduced oxygen. So they can still live in oxygenated place as long as reduced. Temperature variation, Yersinia enterocolitica may grow better at 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. Fungi like Histoplasma capsulatum require 25 degrees for mold phase and 35 degrees Celsius for yeast phase. So, ayun. Minadali na natin mga bading kasi tayo ay naghahabol ng oras. Okay. So, buffered, ito yung isolation of unusual and fastidious bacteria. Ito rin yung mga slow growing. Tulad na nabanggit kanina. Specialized approaches for organisms that do not grow under standard conditions. So, special talaga siya. So, dito naman, pag L. pneumophilia organism, buffered charcoal, yeast extract, agar with L. cysteine. Cysteine of heart agar with chocolized, lattice, sheep blood. Kailan kaya? So, ayan lang din. Hindi na natin siguro kailangan basahin pa yan. Diyos ko, Lord. Tapos, i-mark na lang natin ito. May require selective media and prolonged incubation. Often mistaken for contaminants. Require reduce. To be sterilized. With choice chambers. Sa mga anaerobes. Nocardia species, Leptospira. Francisella tolerans. Okay. So, you will call individually during the next lab session, which is mamaya. You will randomly assign to one scenario. You must clearly answer and completely answer by addressing the following. What went wrong in the scenario? What should have been done correctly? Should the specimen be accepted or rejected? So, anong mali? Anong kailangan gawin? At kung i-accept ba or i-reject? And kailangan justification. So, screenshot nyo na lang guys kung gusto nyo i-save yung ating scenario bank. Dami niya. So, ayan. Okay, ito pa. Ito, i-print ko na lang yan. Type ko na lang, sagot ko mamaya. So, that's it, everyone. Thank you so much. Kasi ako ay nagsasagot na. Thank you. Bye-bye.